Tinder, dating app. I just feel this compelling to just want to talk to somebody because I've literally like been with somebody for 7 years and I just don't like being alone.
Tinder is not going to help you right now. If I were you, I would say you have not yet unlocked Tinder.
I'm 26, man. I have to get it together. No way.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Aaron.
Aaron. What's up, Aaron?
A lot, Geck. A lot. I never thought I would actually ever talk to you, to be honest.
Well, now we are talking. Now we are here. And I'm curious to know what it is that you would like to talk about.
Well, I don't really know where to begin, but crap. I have 3 kids with the same woman. We've been together for 7 years. We broke up for a year, and she lived in a separate state. And and that was when we had 1 son together. Now we have 2 sons and a daughter together since she moved to Texas with me. And I had cheated on her quite a bit. In the past through text, physically, and I kind of admitted all of that, and she, over the years, kind of used it against me, and obviously, fair enough, has been very hurt about all of that stuff. But on a daily basis, it just feels like I'm constantly being judged for the little things that I forget to do, or, you know, the big things that I've done in the past, and it weighs on me. And it was 2020, she had kicked me out of the house because I was messaging an ex on Instagram. And I ended up hooking up with this girl that I knew when I first moved to Texas. And we ended up getting back together. My kids got really sick. I moved back into an apartment. And I get a message like 3 months later from the girl that I hooked up with when I got kicked out. And she was telling me she was pregnant.
So this girl that you cheated on your wife with is pregnant, or what?
It wasn't really. So I cheated to get kicked out on Instagram. I messaged an ex, right? So she kicks me out. We get in this huge fight. She makes me leave, so I leave respectfully, so she can have the house, you know. And after that, I ended up hooking up with her. So we weren't together. And I hooked up with this girl, and then we got back together, and the girl messaged me and said she was pregnant.
Okay, is she pregnant?
No, she had the kid. This was like 2 years ago. But then she blocked me, Dick, on everything. Like
so you have 3 kids with your current wife, and then 1 kid with the woman.
We're not married, but yes.
Okay, you have 3 kids with this woman who you're involved with long term, and then 1 kid with this other woman?
So she blocked me, and that was like a year and a half, almost 2 years, and I didn't hear anything. And I was taking a trip from one part of Texas to another, away from the girl I've been with for forever, away from my family, and it was the fact that I might have a child with someone else and I don't know if it's mine was really eating at me. So I kind of went about it the worst way possible, made a fake Facebook, found her, added her on Snapchat. But when I added her on Snapchat, I put my phone number in, and it sent a notification to my girlfriend. Like, why do you have a Snapchat? You never have a Snapchat. And I tried to lie for a minute, but then I just ended up telling her that I may have a child with somebody. So we have a house together, and I got kicked out of there. Been staying in my car on and off. I fucked bag.
Aaron, listen, Aaron. Everything you've just told me is completely insane, and I think you know that. Have you ever been to? Have you absolutely need to. I'm happy to chat with you, man, because we're here. But you totally absolutely need to go see a real therapist to
I know.
There's some have you ever done that?
Wait a minute. You're not a real therapist?
You know I'm not a real therapist.
I do. So yeah, I do. I see a real therapist every 2 weeks.
Okay, what does your real therapist tell you about the soap opera that is your life?
Man, therapists are kind of like, they kind of coincide. They're like, well, I can understand why you're doing that. You had a bad past, your parents. So it's kind of hard to actually feel any clarity from that sometimes. I just try to be as honest as possible with my therapist, like I just was with you, about why I think I'm doing these things. I have a lot of things that I'm not going to say on your stream, but that happened to me in my past and that I've been through that coincide with all these actions. And I'm 26, man. I have to get it together. I mean, I just told you I have these kids, and like I don't want to be a piece of shit, Geck. I really don't. It's just I've just made really bad mistakes. I don't want them to define me.
Well, so I mean, here's the thing. This, and I don't know, man. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You have 3 kids?
I do.
Okay. So look, here's the thing. You should totally talk to a real therapist about this and get their, opinion and whatnot. But as far as I see it, if I were you, and I just transported into your body on this day, having made whatever choices I had made and was you and whatnot, and I came to a point of clarity and decided that I wanted to be better, I would start by going, I would start with the kids, right? Because, I mean, were these children accidents, or did you make the decision to have them?
The first one, now, definitely all accidents. I'm not going to lie. But not like, we were just doing what we were doing. We knew what we were doing. It wasn't like we were like, uh-oh.
And what do you do currently to try to be a good dad to your kids?
I'm still going to the house every day, even though we're not together, and I play with them. I also try to help her clean. The youngest is about to be 1 on the 31st, so I just really help with him as much as I can with her. She's in college now, so I'm just trying to help her at the same time, play with my kids and make sure they're the first priority. But it gets mixed up because this all happened right before Christmas, so this is fresh.
Okay. And you're still, and what's your deal? You're in a relationship with the woman that is with the mother?
No, we're done.
Okay. At
least for now.
You're not in a relation. Are you in a relationship with anyone right now?
Nope.
Okay. I think, you know what? I think that's probably good.
Yeah, me too.
Because it sounds like you got a lot of stuff to work through.
Can I preach for a second, Geck?
What is I don't know. What is what? Give me a small sample of your preach.
Tinder, dating apps. I just feel this compelling to just want to talk to somebody because I've literally been with somebody for 7 years and I just don't like being alone. I have to get way more comfortable with myself. Yeah.
Buddy, I get you. But I'm not a real therapist, but as somebody talking to you on the phone right now who understands that, and I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I want to try to be helpful to you in this conversation. And in doing that, I'm going to tell you that Tinder is not going to help you right now. If I were you, I would say you have not yet unlocked Tinder.
That is a good way to put it.
You have not yet unlocked Tinder. Tinder another person entering your life is not going to be the thing that turns you around and makes everything awesome. I know it hurts that you feel lonely and you're used to having someone, but this is you just have shit you got to take care of, and I don't think that you're, and you said you're 26. I'm 26 too, and look, one day we're gonna be 40, one day we're gonna be 50, and we have a lot of time between now and then, and in that time we can really make positive changes to like our behavior and our life. So that's kind of what I think we want to focus on. And for you, since you have kids, I mean, the first thing is like, how can I be a better father to my kids?
Absolutely.
So, Gek, I think this is why people call you. Because although you're not a real therapist, you're our age, and you understand the generation that we're living in, and you understand the kind of shit that we think about. And it really is really easy to talk to you about this stuff rather than somebody that I'm uncomfortable around. For some reason, I feel like I know you because I've just watched you so much. So, I really do appreciate what you do.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. So, I mean, listen, get into it with me here, okay? What do we want to do? We want to be a better dad to our kids. All right, we want to be a better dad to our kids. What else?
No dating apps. No sex for a while.
It's a good idea.
No relationships, no flirting, no chatting. Just need to work on myself. And
that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea. That sounds like it'll be healthy. All right, so we're gonna chill out on the dating apps, and we're gonna chill out like looking for. And by the way, I do this too. I think, and I'm not the only. Everyone does this. We're gonna chill out on the whole like looking for a solution to our life's problems in another person.
Right.
So okay, there's that, and then how else do you feel like you can fuck up less?
I need to have more space from the mother of my children, for sure. I need to give her space that she deserves.
Okay. I think that's a good idea. All right, so we're gonna give space to the mother of your children. I think that's wise. That's a wise observation that you understand.
I know I fucked up really bad. Don't get me wrong. I didn't call for you to tell me that it's okay, and I know that I did a lot of things wrong, a lot of things I haven't said, but I'm just past couple of days I've just been really torn up about it.
So okay, we're gonna do that, and then and the kids live with the mom, right?
Right.
Okay. And what's your schedule with them? What's the deal?
I usually Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday she has college, so I get them from 6 to 10. But then the rest of the week is kind of open for me to reach out and ask if I can come over.
Okay. Do you have a job?
I do.
Okay. You're financially supporting the kids?
Yes, and the house, and I'm not even living there.
Okay, great. All right, that's good. I mean, in my opinion, and I don't have kids, but in my opinion, if you want it, is like the bare minimum to do if you have kids is like be present in the kid's life and financially support them.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you feel as though you are doing those things?
Yes, I really do.
Okay. Are your children important? Is having a good relationship with them important to you?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. All right. And then the rest of this stuff sounds personal. It sounds like you're trying to just learn how to be alone.
Yeah. I think that's a big thing. It's so easy to backtrack on that, and then all of a sudden I find myself talking to somebody, or I don't know.
What else do you feel like? What else? What else would you like to change? Like if 5 years from now, what would you like to be different?
Maybe to be able to, and this is going to sound kind of dumb, but maybe to be able to say, like, I'm not smoking weed every single day, or,
All right.
you know, does that dude do that?
I don't think that's dumb. And also, you know, the whole thing about, like, you go to the therapist and they say, oh, well, you're this way because your childhood was a certain way. I've been thinking about, I think I mentioned this on another podcast recently. Actually, yeah, I did. Like, the whole idea of, yeah, like understanding why you are the way you are because of how you grew up, I think is helpful. Because you understand it, and then you go, all right, it's my responsibility to, like, deal with this shit, you know?
Right.
Like, you can't just blame it, and then, you can't resign to it, and go, oh, I had a fucked up, you know, childhood, and so I'm fucked up forever, and I'm just gonna be miserable and sad all the time, you know? Like, you gotta... Is there something even something I think like empowering about being like, okay, I'm gonna fix this.
Right.
So what else do you want to fix?
I guess my anger in some ways. Sometimes I can have a short fuse on certain things when there's a lot going on or the kids are all running around. I'm like, hey! I want to be like less jumpy sometimes, you know. I'm severely ADHD, if you couldn't tell. I was prescribed Adderall in 2nd grade until 12th grade, and then I haven't been medicated since. So I've literally, bro, my head is everywhere at once. You were talking about you don't have any kids earlier. I'd like to see some little Gecks eventually, dude.
Me having kids? No, well, because I am nowhere near, and I am nowhere near having children at all.
Dude, I hope one day when we're in our 30s, I turn on your podcast and there's little Gecks with their faces painted.
Oh, I would. I think they would call CPS on me if I put any of this stuff on a child. Anyway, so listen, man. I'm just gonna leave you with this, right? Which is, I'm just gonna leave you with this. Next time the problem of search. Next time you feel this inkling to get addicted to Tinder and to find the solution to your problems in somebody else. And by the way, I want you to know I've had plenty of experiences in my own life where, I was trying to find the solutions to my problems in somebody else, and I think it's a very, very, very common thing. Okay, but here's what you need to understand is that you can't. Is that you have a lot of like shit going on with you right now that you can and should fix internally, and that even if you did find a new cool person on your Tinder, right, it's not a long-term fix to any of these problems.
Right.
Okay.
What's your stance on pornography?
Think about that. What's my stance on pornography?
Yeah. I feel like I've heard you.
How'd you know I was watching it right now?
I heard
That's what I do. I just have it on. I have multiple monitors, and on one of them I'm taking calls, and on the other one I'm watching a lot of porn.
I think that's like a big root to my problems. Like, I forgot to say that, but
what's my opinion on pornography? It's cool that it's there,
It's just there.
Don't just start small. Start small, dude. Don't take away all your little pleasures, immediately.
Yeah.
What's your name again? Aaron. Aaron, is there anything else you want to say? Aaron, is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
Geck hard, stay gecking. keep calling Geck, dude. I love this show. I'm going to watch it until the day I die. Well, hopefully you don't die before me. I don't know.
We'll see. I'm trying to not eat as much candy. Anyway, take care, man. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thanks for talking to me, man.
That would be funny if all the porn I was just watching a ton of gecko porn. I don't know what gecko porn would be, but it sounds hot.
Hello?
Hello, what is your name?
Serenity?
Serenity. Lord, give what's the Serenity prayer? I think it's like an AA thing. Like Lord, give me the. Is that called the Serenity prayer? Do you know what I'm talking? You don't even know what I'm talking about. The one that's like.
No, I don't.
Lord, give me the strength to fucking do something, and the wisdom to do that thing too. It's called the Serenity prayer. Who gives a shit?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I think, yeah.
It's like, Lord, give me the strength to accept. Oh, okay. Okay. I remember it. Lord, give me the strength to accept the things that I can't control, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's the Serenity prayer. I think it's the Serenity prayer.
Yeah.
Anyway, you wanted to talk about Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Yes. So, a couple years ago, my friend started working for one of the companies. So recently, I've just been spending a lot of time going to different fighting game conventions. And mainly I go for Smash Melee and Ultimate, and I happened to see a stream where you were talking about HBox. Yeah, and it was just funny because, I don't know, he's nice, and I've just had the opportunity to meet him, and it's been really fun going, and yeah, getting to travel around the U.S. and go to different places and just hang out with everybody in the fighting game community.
I love getting to talk about my extremely niche hobby of competitive Super Smash Brothers Melee. Competitive Smash, in general, is not very niche because, Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, everyone fucks with, but I hate Ultimate. I don't care about it. I don't watch it. I don't play it. It's specifically the one for the GameCube that I'm into.
Yes.
So wait a minute. So you work for Nintendo?
No, I don't.
How do you unlock Luigi in Super Mario 64? Tell us.
I have no idea. But yeah, I just got into it because my friend, she started working for a company. It was a gaming company, but it dissolved. But yeah, while she was working for it, that's how I got introduced to it. And I always played Melee growing up, but it was really fun just going and seeing how competitive it was. And yeah, everybody in Melee is pretty nice. At least all the fans, and yeah.
So you've been, how many different tournaments have you gone to?
I think maybe 5 or 6 so far, and then this year I'm planning to go to one, my next one is in Vegas.
Wait, what's it called?
I don't know if you say Evo or EVO.
You're going to Evo? You're going to Evo?
Yeah.
They don't do Melee anymore, but Evo is the Super Bowl of fighting game tournaments.
Yeah. I went to Genesis too recently.
You went to Genesis?
Yeah.
This year, in February, back in February?
Yes. Yeah. It was really fun.
That's sick. Who'd you meet at Genesis? We're you know what? Fuck it. It's my podcast. We're talking about competitive Super Smash Brothers Melee. Who'd you meet at Genesis?
Well, I guess a bunch of different people, but I'm very fortunate that my friend, she's dating someone who's friends with some of the players, so I'm not very cool myself, but I just by association, I'm very fortunate to get to meet some of the players. Salt, Leffen, H-Box,
You met Leffen?
of
Wait,
course.
dude, you met Leffen?
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of offhand.
I actually had one interaction with Leffen. So Leffen is one of the best Super Smash Bros. Melee players in the world. Who is known? He's like, this is his thing. He is known for being a dick. And
Yeah.
one time I was at I used to go to these tournaments, and I went to play with him, and I asked him if he would be down to play friendlies, and he kind of like rolled his eyes and said sure. And then we play like one game, and he 4-stocks me, and then he just like unplugs my controller and like vaguely like throws the cord at me. And you know what's here's the great thing about having a persona, like being known for being a dick. I didn't walk away from that interaction I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't like, oh man, I finally got to meet Leffen and he was a dick. I walked away being like, yeah, that's his thing.
That's kind of an honor.
Yeah, it was kind of an honor, exactly. I had this. I had one interaction. I had another interaction with Hungrybox. I thought this was pretty funny. I was playing him. I went to Pound 2016, and we played. He was on a setup, and I plugged in to play friendlies with him, and we start playing, and I take the first stock, and he looks at. I took the first stock, and he looked at me, and he was like, "Are you ranked?" And I looked at him, and I said, "No, are you?" And he did not think that was funny at all. He was pissed.
Oh, I think that was pretty clever. Good job.
Thanks, man. Anyway, that's I haven't been to a Smash Major in a long time, but that's it. It's kind of sad, man. It's kind of sad because I do wish that I was into like Fortnite or Call of Duty or Street Fighter or Ultimate or something that's like, because Melee is only going to go downhill. It's not going to get more popular. There's only every year going to be less and less people playing it. It's like a 25, 26-year-old game.
Yeah.
So nobody's gonna. This is always gonna be less people playing it. It's a bummer. I wish I was into like a real game.
Same. I know what you mean.
Do you play?
I do. Yeah.
Who do you play?
I like playing Peach. And then my personal favorite character, who I don't play against anyone, is Kirby, even though he's like the shittiest. But he's just my personal favorite.
Do you play any of the other what is it? Do you play any of the other fighting games?
I tried recently getting into Street Fighter, but as lame as it is, like my hands kept cramping up, and I was like, maybe this isn't for me. And like all the combos and yeah.
I'm going to take this opportunity to share something with my audience, people who are listening to this. If you've gotten this far in this conversation and you haven't turned this off, and this is of any interest of you, you should check out. And what's your name again?
Serenity.
Serenity. All right, we did the whole thing with the prayer. Serenity, and Serenity. I'm sure you know about this. I'm sure maybe you've seen this. There is a, and let me stay with me on this, folks. Okay, this is you guys stay with me on this. There is a 4-hour-long documentary about the competitive Super Smash Brothers scene. It's a fantastic documentary. It's for free on YouTube. It's called The Smash Brothers. It's by a guy named Samus or Samox. It's called The Smash. If you just go on YouTube and you search The Smash Brothers, I think it's like 9 episodes or something. But you go watch the first episode. It's really sick. It's how basically what happened was Super Smash Bros. Man, it's an old game, and the community kind of died out a little bit, especially like when Brawl happened. And then this guy makes this documentary about the competitive Super Smash Brothers scene, and he kind of like this documentary comes out, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is so sick!" And then everyone gets in on it, and it kind of revitalized the scene. So, you know, a formal recommendation to go check out the 4-hour-long Super Smash Brothers documentary on YouTube. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and especially it's just nice having like recognition for such like, as you said, like a niche group, and yeah.
So do you? So you don't work in video? What do you work in video games?
No, I don't. It's just more of like, I don't know, a passion, I guess, like a really big hobby. So I like video games, and yeah, once I went to like my first one, and seeing like competitive gaming, I was like, oh, this is addictive, and like, just especially sitting in the crowd and being there, I finally understand the hype for sports and other things.
It's true. It's funny. I was never into like sports, but that was kind of like my version of sports was Smash. Like I got it at that point.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's funny because the biggest esports in the world are like MOBA games, like League of Legends and Dota.
Yes.
And I don't get that because like you could be any random motherfucker. You could be like 60-year-old boomer person, and you could be looking at and it's why I don't get why like fighting games aren't the most popular, because you could be like a boomer and watching a fighting game and be like, okay, the guy getting hit a lot is losing. Like you understand the concept of a fight, right? But I look at a MOBA and I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, definitely. Especially in League.
What do you work in, if not video games?
I work for an online technology company that does like online monitoring for kind of like, the best way I can describe it is I do monitoring for like looking out for like school shooters and other violence and other things.
Do you see a lot of fucked up stuff all the time on the internet?
I do.
How has that affected your mental health?
Yeah. Well, actually, not too much, just because I was kind of already interested in it, and like it's interesting. We get to sometimes like train with like the FBI, and sometimes through that we'll see like really graphic images of like crime scenes. And actually, like whenever I first went into it, I thought it was going to be kind of like disappointing, or I was going to be like, oh no, the youth is so like negative. But actually, a lot of things that I see, like a lot of younger kids are really supportive of each other, and like really against bullying, and like surprisingly, like a lot of times you don't hear about it, but they are stopping like school shootings and other school violence, like bombing and things, pretty frequently. Which is
so.
Well, I guess that probably sounds negative, but
No, that's not. Why? I feel like that's. Well, I guess you're right. I guess that's a double-edged sword, because it is positive that they're stopping it, but I guess negative that it's happening in the first place.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's nice. That's so okay. Because here's the thing. I worry for the children. You know what I mean? Because they're kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
And so, but it's nice to hear that you're monitoring their chats. Wait, so the fucking government like do they actually monitor our shit like that?
So I can't.
Are you whistleblowing on the Therapy Gecko podcast right now?
So the company I work for, I can't say their name, but we're kind of like, we try to be as non-invasive as possible. So you'd have to type something or do something on a computer that the school has like paid to sign up for monitoring. So a lot of times, it'll have to be like, I'm going to bring a gun, or I have a gun, or I'm going to shoot up a school. And then it kind of triggers something, and then I review it. And then if I have to call the school, or if I have to call the police, we also do like suicide watching. sometimes the funniest part is it will trigger for, I see a lot of porn. And then I also see like a lot of fan fiction that the kids will write, and the fan fiction is always really funny because sometimes it'll be like, oh no, is this child talking to an adult like this? But it's just them writing like a wolf fan fiction or Harry Potter or something.
So these are like so this is like on the school computer.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
so they have to be, like,
so
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I feel like if you're watching porn and talking about bringing a gun in on the school computer, you kind of fuck around and find out.
Right, yeah.
What about kids who are like, I feel like there's a lot of the school shooter genre of joke is out there.
Yeah.
So like, how many times is a kid like, I'm gonna bring a gun to school, but he's just trolling?
Well, so that definitely happens. That's kind of part of my job, is I have to go and look and kind of make like the judgment or the call. We're always going to err like on the side of caution. But there are some schools where they've already had shootings in their school, so they'll be like very serious about it, and any type of like joke or comment they kind of want to know. So you'll end up emailing the counselor or calling them to let them know, and then they'll review it. Yeah, just because, well, obviously, like a serious issue, but a lot of kids will also make like, you know, like when you're having a shitty day, like, oh, I want to kill myself, and they don't really mean that they literally want to die, but that's also part of my job, is just making the determination of that and deciding what to do.
Do you think the kids will be all right?
I really do. I really do think the kids will be all right. I definitely do.
Well, that's reassuring. Well, who do you main in Street Fighter? Is Street Fighter your main fighting game?
No, I would definitely say it's Melee.
Are you good?
Absolutely. No. No. I mean, I wouldn't say I am.
You know what I should do? I want to do a Twitch stream one day where I slippy net play people. I actually did that once. I remember a long time ago, I was streamed like as a Gecko, and then I was either on the phone with somebody or in the chat with somebody, and they were like, "Yo, I'm down to play you," and I just streamed myself, like I was doing actual video game Twitch streaming, and I streamed myself on Slippy. For those who don't know, Slippy is when you can play Melee online with other people, and I streamed myself on Slippy, and I just got my fucking ass whooped.
Yeah, it gets pretty brutal on there. Some people are, well, I mean, yeah, a lot of people are really good. I was surprised.
Do you play online?
Yeah.
Are you good?
No. It's mainly for fun. Yeah, just mainly for fun, a hobby. I mean, some of my friends are really, really good, but I'm just a casual player. I mean, I play Kirby, so that, if anyone knows, that kind of speaks for itself.
Well, Serenity, I'll say this. I'll say it was serene to talk to you. You probably get jokes about your name. I've realized every time I make a joke about someone's name, they look at me with such disgust because they've heard that joke 100 times. But
yeah.
Serenity, it was serene to talk to you. Is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
I just want to say hi, chat, and give a shout out to the Gex girlies.
Rock and roll. Have a good night, Serenity.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, dude. Send me Slippy codes. If you're listening to this and you play competitive Super Smash Bros. Melee, send me a fucking Slippy code. And if I just completely run out of anything else to ever do with my life, maybe I'll play Strangers and Slippy. That could be fun. Actually, that would be a fun stream. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, send me Slippy codes.
Call from
Ripe Potato Man.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, man, what's your name?
How you doing, Lyle? I'm Ripe Potato Man.
All right. Well, Ripe, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Cool, man. Have we ever spoken before?
Nope, never spoken before.
Well, Ripe, what's going on with you, man? How's life?
Honest to goodness, life should be going great.
Life should be going great. Why the should?
Well, I don't know. I got my dream job. Things have been going great for me, but I don't know. I lack the sense of community. I don't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just, things have just been going great for me in every on paper way, but I just feel like things just haven't been living up to their expectations, you know?
Through most of my life, I've been I've always had I've always had a lot of good friends. But I think in my mind, I've been attached to like stoicism in this sense of there's what you can and what you can't control. And one of the great difficulties of life is that you cannot control other people, unless if you're like a crazy person. Then you try really hard to like feed people poison and control them and all that stuff. But
yeah, if you're trying to manipulate people, yeah.
But normally, it's like, you know, I try to focus in the realm of what I can control and then not what I can't control. And so community is a tricky one because it's really important. You can't just be an isolationist. You can't just fucking not talk to anybody or have no friends or you just can't do it. And I'm trying. I'm in my head. I'm like, I'm responsible for solving all my problems, right? So how do I solve a problem that has nothing to do with me because it's about other people, right? It's like, you can't make somebody love you. You can't make somebody be your friend. And I've been thinking about this a lot because I've been thinking about this my whole life, and I think what is within your control is to put yourself in more situations where you are around other people. And
but that's the real problem. That's the real problem is that in this day and age, I can try to go to a bar or maybe go out and try more social exercises and do more athletic things that can bring friends to you. But the truth of the matter is that in this day and age, it's really hard to try to make friends. Like all of my friends at this point are 7 hours away. I've moved so far away from all the people that I've grown, that I've learned these things from, that I've developed friendships with, to try to take this dream job that I can have a salary that can allow me to survive in this economy. But the truth is just that now that I finally have some level of affluence, I've lost all of the social characteristics that give me the ability to be the person to give those people the person that I want to be.
Oh yeah, that sounds juicy. Where do you live?
Right now I'm living in North Carolina. I grew up in upstate New York, but I moved to Tennessee when I was a kid, and I developed these friendships when I was a teenager that actually gave me friends that were real friends. Yeah. And then as soon as I got a good job offer, I moved away to North Carolina to have that sense, to move on with my life and be a person and gain the job that I've been working for a long time to get. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, once I had it, I've lost everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Very tricky. Very tricky. Okay. What have you done? Do you live in like a big city in North Carolina?
I am about an hour north of Charlotte, so I'm in a smaller city area. But I can't afford gas to drive towards a larger city, or even, truthfully, I just spent my last hour watching a football game and, just having some made in the oven pizza. And that was the best part of my week.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I'm laughing. I'm sorry. I said that's juicy, and I laughed. Only I resonate with you. That's why I'm laughing. And
No,
I'm
I fully
talking.
get it. No, because you understand. Yeah.
So
just,
all right.
I feel like in a pickle.
All right. Give me some other things. What else have you tried? Right? What else have you tried?
Well, I mean,
let's get
not a
smart.
religious
What have you
person.
tried?
I'm not a religious person, but I went to church this morning. Just to
That's great.
find a sense of community, because I need to talk to a living person, and outside of my work, because the people at my work they talk to me, they like me. I feel like, and I feel like I've gained a lot of community and a lot of sense of friendship there. But at the end of the day, they're people I work with.
Yeah.
And
what do you,
it feels like Sorry. Yeah.
What do you like to do?
I like to build things. I like to do things. I like to just add a positive force to the universe.
Build things. What things do you like to build?
I build experimental vehicles. I build houses. I build whatever you name it. I try to build. If there's a problem, I try to solve it.
Okay, so you're like a I don't know if there's a word for what you are, but you build vehicles.
Not like cars, but more like I build one-wheel unicycle broomstick type things. I try to build the weirdest thing I can think of. I use 3D printers. I use whatever I can come up with to solve whatever problem I have in my head and make it work.
Okay,
I have hobbies to a degree.
Okay, so what you should do is take those hobbies, right? Like 3D printing and building, and here if I could give you some homework, and I'll do it too. If I could give you some homework, would be to take that hobby that you have to build, because that's what you just described is really great, actually. So like the hobby of 3D printing, of building things. Charlotte's yeah, okay. You live in somewhere that's big enough, I think, for you to do this. Think about different groups, different in-person social groups, like a robotics club, like when you were in college, they had all these clubs, right? Those clubs,
yeah. If I hadn't dropped out of college,
clubs still exist. They still exist even as an adult. So, I would think of some clubs that are related to building, whether it's like a fucking architect meetup or a hackathon or some shit like that, right? Okay, so you scour the internet. You scour Facebook and Meetup and Google and Craigslist and, well, don't scour too much on Craigslist because then you'll end up sucking a guy's cock. That wasn't funny. I tried. I was like, that wasn't funny. I wish I didn't say that.
Funny. I don't give
no, it wasn't. It wasn't funny. It was hacky. That wasn't funny. Okay. So do that, right? And here's the key. Here's the truth. Here's where we take our fucking power back. Okay? Here's where we take our power back, Ripe. Okay? If we don't find any of this shit, what do we do, Ripe?
I don't know.
You make it. You put yourself out there, okay? And you say, hey, at the Charlotte Public Rec Center, every first Tuesday of the month, we're doing a building event, and you go on Facebook and Craigslist and meet, and you make a little flyer or you hire somebody else with all your money that you have, and you make a flyer and you fucking make the event, right? And even if it goes just doing this just to be like, I tried, just to be like, I took my loneliness and my community problem into my own hands. I didn't wait for somebody else to fucking do it for me. It'll make you feel better. And there's at least one other lonely motherfucker playing with Legos in your area that you guys can hang out. So that's my practical advice to you.
And Lyle, I'm going to ask this not just for me, but for everybody who listens to you religiously, because I listen to you all the time, man. Right? I love all of your streams.
Thanks,
but
man.
I just want to ask you this question purely. Yeah. In this day and age, all right, we've lost so much when it comes to social interaction. What would be your advice to somebody who's trying to make friends, who's trying to meet people, who's trying to get out of this horrible social bubble that we've constructed over the last few years, to meet people in person? What is your advice?
Well, first of all, I just told you my advice.
Well,
that's exactly my advice.
Yeah, for me personally. No, for me personally. But I genuinely mean that. Like, for all the rest of the people who are listening, because there's a lot of people
but it wasn't for you personally. It wasn't for you personally. It was a very practical thing. It was, what are your hobbies? What are your interests? What are you naturally attracted to? That's what I asked you. You said it was building, and so it's okay. Take all of your natural hobbies and things that you're into and attracted to, and you go out and you find in-person events related to them, and if those don't exist, you create them. That's the advice.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not 100% convinced that I agree with you that we are in the least connected age ever. We're
in the most connected age ever, but not the most socially connected age ever, where people can see each other in person. You want to meet someone online, you can meet them in line in a second. If you want to find someone who has the same interests as you, you can meet them hands down way faster than you ever could before. But the truth is that this person-to-person connection that you can find from just meeting people in person, I feel like we've lost.
Well, how old are you? 23?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you and I don't really have a good sample size for that, because we're of the age where we grew up with we don't remember a time where there wasn't an internet. I don't know if you've talked to people who do, but I'm gonna that whole question, are we lonelier now than we were before, is I don't necessarily think I agree with that, because the internet holds so much. Everything I just told you to do, find an interest, find an in-person group that relates to that interest, and then if it doesn't exist, create it. That whole process that I just told you is 1,000 times easier with the internet.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, because you can just go on whatever social media website you want to choose and find people and find a group. Yeah, and you can try to do that.
And it's never been easier to go suck a random guy's cock, which is a form of connection.
God bless Craigslist.
What's your name again?
Right Potato Man.
Right Potato Man. Well, are you going to... be honest with me, and it's fine if not. Are you going to do this?
I'm going to try... I
know. I'll let you finish. I'm sorry. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to be honest with you. I've thought of doing this before. I genuinely have. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of trepidation that comes from the fact of just, should I not? But the fact that I've actually been able to get on the phone with you after all the streams I've watched with you, I'm going to try to do it because you motivate me to do it.
Please, dear fucking God, if this works for you, send me like an Instagram DM. I would love to know if this worked for you. What was I going to say? Well, what else are you going to do, right? Are you just going to rot and die?
No, to be honest with you, I like I said, I have the job I've wanted for a very long time. I've been working towards mechatronics for a very long time. I have a job that's giving me an internship in mechatronics I shouldn't have. Truthfully, I shouldn't have gotten this job. If it wasn't for the lack of people in the market right now, I wouldn't have the job I have. They're pushing me to finish my mechatronics certification, right? And they're the ones who are helping me. They like me. The fact that I work as much as they want me to work, I will stay late, I will come in early, I will do whatever the hell they want me to do. I'm getting motivated from the fact that the people that believe in me. So I'm going to continue moving on in that path. But the fact is I don't have the social interactions. And you're helping motivate me, whether it's from this call alone, but from the streams I've watched from you before. You've helped me motivate myself to go and try.
Good. Please let me know how it works for you. I'm very excited to hear.
I appreciate that, man.
Right, Potato, is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
Yeah. Love, life, and happiness. Those are the 3 keys to everything.
Thank you, Right Potato Man. I will talk to you soon. God bless you.
All right, I'll keep watching the stream. Thanks, man.